Hey, welcome back to The Ray Show. This is The Ray Lucia Show. I am John Bam Ransom, filling in but not replacing the great man himself. If you have questions for Ray, you can always get them at raylucia.com. Hit the Ask Ray link. We will get to him in just a couple of minutes with your very smart money questions. In the meantime, we're joined by Gene Pastula with SafeMoneyMonitor.com. You can go to SafeMoneyMonitor.com, and we're talking about a couple of interesting things, because the truth is that the big retirement crisis that we have is that people are living longer, which means that they're going to, number one, need more money, and number two, they're going to need more money for health care, and number three, they're going to need more money for long-term care. And we haven't necessarily adequately addressed all of that in our retirement savings. I mean, I know from being involved in the financial service industry for a long time that the truth is this industry has not addressed, especially when it comes to long-term care needs, it has not addressed that adequately with people inside their portfolio.
Yeah, well, for the last 25, 30 years, it's been all about accumulating money.
Right.
Okay. And then there's this nebulous thing out. So if you have enough money, then you can retire in comfort. Okay.
Right. Well, right. We saw I want to open up a bed and breakfast, Ameritrade or whatever they were, whatever brokerage firm came out, and people would sit down with their financial advisors 10 years ago and be like, well, when we retire, we want to open up a bed. We're like, really? That's what you're going to do?
Yeah.
How about taking care of long-term care?
Right. And of course, so now they're all faced with that, and they don't know what to do. What we have done is to work with the insurance industry to provide specific solutions for each one of these issues in retirement. And of course, each person has a sensitivity to different ones and to different degrees. And
let me just interject, because I think there's one that everybody really ought to be paying attention to, and if they haven't, I mean, they know themselves if they're thinking about their portfolio and their financial plan. If you have not addressed long-term care, you're really putting yourself at risk. But you guys have a program called the Link Benefit Deal that can address this. I think in kind of not just a no pain way, but it actually does double duty for your money.
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
it?
We were talking at the break that that when you talk to people or deal with situations where individuals are, say, in their late 50s and 60s and older, when it comes to insurance, like life insurance, something like this, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We still haven't solved the problem of figuring out how to keep people alive forever.
Right.
Okay. Right. So we know that there's going to be a benefit paid with a life insurance policy. So why don't, instead of buying a long-term care policy that you either use it, you're hoping you're not going to use it.
And that's the key resistance thing, is people say, well, I'm not going to buy it because I may not use it.
It's so expensive. And et cetera, and I'm not going to use it. Somebody else may need it, but I'm not. So with the life insurance thing, you are literally creating an investment of sorts, because whether you put money into a contract like this in lump sum, and Ray and I have talked for over a year now about moving money from a left pocket to the right pocket, and simply moving money from, say, a bank account, $100,000 is what we use, and you put it into the insurance contract, well, immediately that $100,000 is worth $150,000 if you die, but if you need long-term care, it's going to be worth $450,000.
Right.
And I'm making these numbers up. And that's right. And it's averages.
Literal,
that's right. But the point is, we're able to leverage that money. And by the way, the $100,000, you get that back anytime you want. Each company has a little caveat of maybe a couple years where only 90% or 95% would be available back. But basically, it's an asset on your balance sheet.
Well, so you take an emergency fund, for example. It stays an emergency fund. If for some reason, unfortunately, you pass away, you die earlier than maybe you anticipated, you get the death benefit.
It's all tax-free.
All tax-free. To your heirs, or if you live long enough to have long-term care issues, you get to leverage that up like 2 or 3 times.
Sure, right? and it depends on the product. But the interesting thing is, and why I'm here and why I want to participate in this program, is the fact that it's not about the product itself so much as it's about the strategy and helping. We help the client. find the right company, the right product,
right,
and the right configuration to fit their particular situation. Years ago, when we introduced this concept, about 25 years ago, there was 1 or 2 policies available.
Right.
And we went out and we did seminars and everything, told them about it. Today, there's 20 different carriers that have some version of this, and it allows us to design an approach that each couple or each individual can feel comfortable with.
Right.
Knowing that whatever money that they're putting into this is ultimately going to come out the other side.
Right.
You want a high rate of return? Die soon, because we know exactly how much the benefit's going to be.
I actually don't want a high rate of return that badly.
That's right, and neither do I.
Right.
In fact, if I could live long enough so that rate of return is not so big a deal, what do I care?
Right.
I didn't endure any pain during the minute time. My kids can sit down and figure out what the rate of return is, and they can be happy or sad. I don't care. But the bottom line is, whatever I put in, more is going to come out.
Right.
And it's going to come out without taxes, and it's going to come out whether if I die for my kids, if I don't for myself, to help pay those costs of long-term care, which are now getting up to around $100,000 a year.
Hey, it's safemoneymonitor.com, safemoneymonitor.com. Gene Pastula from safemoneymonitor.com is here with us. You can call him at 800-809-6783, 800-809-6783. If you haven't thought about these long-term care issues, you really need to. Do not delay. Do not walk. Run to the nearest telephone and call them.
One more point is even if you don't have an interest in doing anything or delving into this at this point, go on to safemoneymonitor.com and click the Contact Us button and just write us a note. Say, put me on your mailing list for it.
Right.
And we do a quarterly, and sometimes a little more often, sometimes not so long, but a quarterly newsletter that you can get that'll keep you up to date on kind of all these things. And it's an entertaining letter. It's interesting to read, and just send us your name and your email and say, put me on the email, your email list for your newsletter.
It's safemoneymonitor.com. Go to safemoneymonitor.com, or you can call Gene at 800-809-6783. Well, and one of the things that I love about your site is that it's packed full of information. We have this information about the Link Benefit Program, which a lot of people don't know about. You have the academic studies that we were talking about earlier in the program, where you can kind of create your own pension your own private pension program for yourself for retirement, which will hopefully help extend the amount of money that you have in retirement.
It's not loaded up. I mean, you can go in and in fact, what some people do, they go on our website and they see the information that we have there, which is the basic thing that everybody needs to be aware of.
Right.
But you can then take and you can Google one of those terms and you can get all the detail you want.
Right.
And so we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. What we're trying to do is to put in one place basic information on the fundamental issues that pre-retirees and retirees have to have.
Right.
And then our job is to help you sift through those to address specific problems.
And I really want to make this point, because I think this is what's really driving it, is that the issues that retirees and pre-retirees have are dynamic issues, meaning that they change over a period of time. 10 years ago, this longevity issue wasn't quite as pressing. We're seeing it become more pressing. 20 years ago, this long-term care issue wasn't quite as pressing.
Correct.
But the evidence really is strongly coming out that there's a bigger need for long-term care than we even suspected 5 years ago.
Insurance companies are raising their rates like crazy. Now, do you think they're just trying to suck more money out? No. Very honestly, their claims are so high that, in other words, when people are buying the policies, eventually they're claiming on them.
Right.
And that's, to me, I've been in this business over 45 years.
Sure.
I know I don't look it, but
it's more like 55.
Oh, well, in any event, I have a lot of history here, and I tell you, when you see claims like that and you see the rate increase, you say, of course, people are using this
People
stuff.
are using the product, and we know that that's going to accelerate and not decelerate. And as you pointed out, there's been so much, especially from the industry and from the media, there's so much pressure on, or so much talk about the accumulation phase. There's very little talk about, what's the smartest way to distribute the money?
That's right.
Hey, it's safemoneymonitor.com, safemoneymonitor.com. You can call Gene at 800-809-6783. That's 800-809-6783. We got more Ray coming at you right after the break. If you have questions for him, you can go to raylucia.com. That's raylucia.com. Go ahead and hit the Ask Ray link at the top of the page. Send in your questions. We'll be back right after these messages.
You've got mail.
Look on